this beer. Oh,
What's that?
so I probably shouldn't be drinking this beer. My stomach fucked up.
Oh, yeah. Probably not the best idea, but fuck it.
You only live once.
All right.
Live today, die tomorrow.
Hey, there are people who live twice because technically if your heart stops, you die.
Oh, then they get brought back to life.
Yeah. Get resuscitated.
I guess.
How does YOLO apply to them?
Yellow.
YOLO. You only live once.
I guess so.
I mean, if you're saying you only live once and then you technically live twice because you died, that ends the first life. You start the second.
I guess I started my second one already then, cause like when I was born, I fucking cold blue and they had to bring me back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Heart stop.
I'm pretty sure cold blue.
Oh, I don't know the
blue
codes.
beans, yes.
Yeah. Well then, yeah. I guess you're on the second one. So.
But I don't know, man. I think I got some type of miracle or something, cause they like had to keep bringing me back to life over and over again.
Oh, so you're a cat.
I don't. I was meant to be here.
You got up to 9.
I was meant to be here, man. I guess. Shit. I don't know, but it's a whole. I can go a whole nother story with that.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That's legit. Oh shit! I got a beer cap from last week here. That's hilarious.
God cut me in this world so I can drink as many beers as possible.
That's right. So why stop now? I would like to hear that at like, no, I don't want to go to AA, or you're like court mandated to do AA or something. It's like, man, I already died once or twice or 3 or 4 times. I forget. I lost count. Apparently I was put here to drink beer. So sorry guys. Can't help you. Just go ahead and skip me every week. But yeah.
No, like I got a PC. I don't know what's it called, PCPs. Not the drug.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I'm probably saying it wrong, but PCP is something that got to do with your heartbeat.
Oh, like a pacemaker?
I don't have a pacemaker, but my diagnosis has something to do with like my heart rhythm.
Mm.
I got a double heartbeat.
What is that called?
Like it.
Wow,
You know
a murmur, a heart murmur.
Yeah, heart murmur. Exactly. Like instead of my heart beating per second,
yeah,
it double beats.
Yeah, you get an echo. They hear an echo.
Right. So then it technically slows down for like a half a second. Then it beats again.
Yeah, and it messes with your blood pressure and yeah.
See, that makes sense why my blood pressure is always low.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things that murmurs have caused additional issues with.
That's crazy you said that because my blood pressure is always low.
Yeah.
And just put 2 and 2 together because the doctor never even said nothing to me about my blood pressure being low.
I wouldn't take that as like a confirmation. You know, I'm just saying.
Common sense, though, what you said makes sense.
I mean, yeah, you would, yeah. But, again, that ain't church. So, no, my nephew, he was born with hypoplastic left heart syndrome. So that meant he had something with his aortic valve as well. So he actually had like a hole in his heart. And then his left ventricle or something like that, like didn't flap. Went through like 4 surgeries on his heart before he was like 6 months old.
Man.
Crazy. So yeah, that was a rough time.
Yeah.
Especially for my sister.
Yeah, the doctor told me that I don't necessarily have to get surgeries. Like, it's something I can live with. So,
yep. Yeah, I know people who have murmurs. So
you know,
he was like,
he said he could fix it though. He's like, if you do get surgery, I could fix it. And I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna take no chances. You might mess something up or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
Cause if I feel like I can live with it, I'm not having no complications,
Mhm.
breathing or anything or sleeping. So I've been living with it my whole life,
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
you
Cool.
know.
Cool. I guess we should probably intro then, because Joey's not here. So
Yeah, Joey's not here. He's his wife's birthday was this week, and I guess they want to celebrate on a weekend because he's not working. So,
and Mother's Day.
Mother's Day is tomorrow.
We're recording this, day before Mother's Day. So, happy Mother's Day to everybody out there who is a mother, I guess. I hope you didn't have to do much. So, welcome back to the ThereØF podcast. I'm Troy.
Juval.
This is episode 21.
21. You sure?
Yeah. So I have 19. Okay. I do have 19. I just can't render it. We've had a few issues with this. We had a week where we didn't release one. Where I released it, I just didn't release it public. I left it unlisted. And then I was like, oh man, it's unlisted. And then thought I put it public. And then 2 days ago, y'all were like, yeah, we didn't put one out the last 2 weeks. I was like, no, just not this week.
Yeah, I ain't want to say nothing. Joey, I'll let Joey do all the talking.
Yeah, if it's not up, let me know, because apparently I missed out. I messed that one up. So that's entirely on me. Had a lot of editing issues. What happened was we recorded those two videos. We recorded episode 18 and 19 in 4K. So I was like, hey, 4K, it's better video. Yeah. It'll, if we have to zoom in on stuff, which I've been having to do more and more recently, then it'll look clear.
Thought it was going to be easy.
Thought so. Nope. So, yeah. The little rig that I have doesn't have a GPU. I'm using Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve for free. So it wouldn't even use the GPU if it could. So what I'm doing, this is fun for anybody who's technical in IT out there, is I'm spinning up a virtual machine in the cloud. So I'm building a computer in the cloud, in Microsoft's servers, right? Okay. I'm building a computer.
He's building a computer in the cloud. That's what is it? What is this called? What type of computer is it again?
It's just going to be an editing computer.
Editing computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way that Microsoft Azure works is you set aside resources. So I want this many CPUs. I want this much RAM. I want this much drive. Install an operating system for me. I want this graphics card. I want all of this, right? And you part it out and you say, this is what I want. Well, there's pricing for every single one of those things. Mm-hmm. That is a certain price per minute.
Right.
Right. And then if you leave it on, they charge you every month, whatever it is. So this virtual machine that I'm building is going to cost, if I left it on all month and ran it, it would cost $1,300 a month.
Wow.
To run.
Can we just buy a whole new computer or something?
You could. But here's the thing. If it's off, you're not being charged for it.
Right.
So it's only when you're using it.
Per minute.
And it's a quarter a minute pretty much. So quarter a minute, 60 minutes, or, it takes a little longer. But I can edit somewhat on my local machine.
Right.
And then I can send the finished project up to it and then let it render it.
Right.
I only need it to render. So
Joy was saying something about downloading it to the Google Drive, and somehow we can compress it and transfer it over.
That's not how it works.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Joey, you start thinking, man.
What I technically could do is I could downgrade the video, but then I have to re-edit the entire video.
Right.
And I put a ton of work into a whole thing, because it's when you started to get angry. We talked about it on the episode that came out that I finally released public instead of leaving it private. You start getting louder and louder and louder.
Yeah.
Because Joey won't let you talk, and then you're like obviously getting more and more mad. So I actually put a rage bar down at the bottom that's filling up as you get more mad, and then you calm down a little, so it goes down, and then I'm like,
What
hey,
was that? What
I
was
was
I
like, hey,
drinking?
buddy,
What was
hey.
I drinking that night?
that Monster shit.
Oh yeah, the Monster alcoholic beverages they got out. Woo,
Yeah,
man, I don't know what said there, boy.
I'm good on those. But no, I was like, hey, buddy, it's me. Hey, you like me? It's okay. Come on. And then like I made the bar go down more, and then Joey started talking. The bar shot back up. I did a whole bunch of really fun stuff with the edit. I just couldn't actually get it to render, and I don't want to redo any of that stuff, because if I redo it, like if I have to downgrade the video to 1080 and then re-edit the video, it's not going to have any of that stuff in there, because that took me like 3 hours to do.
Right.
So you don't want to know my hourly rate.
Oh no,
for my
I don't.
regular work, let alone my editing work now. No. So essentially, you might see 19, you might not. We'll find out.
It'll be a special release.
Yeah. I mean, if we do Patreon, maybe we'll just hold it for Patreon and be like, exclusive. You're the only ones that get to see 19.
Holiday release.
Yeah, Joey and I were talking about Patreon for a little bit, and I was thinking about how that would work, because it's like Patreon takes like a good chunk. I want to say it's like up to 12% or something like that. Sometimes, depending on who you are, it might be 8. I don't remember off the top of my head, but they take a cut. So if you're getting, I mean, even we'll say a nice round number of $10 and they get 10%, then that takes $1 away, right? Yeah, that's only $9 a month, whatever, but that adds up over time to
would that be
get
easier?
stuff like this, right? Or if it's like $5, if somebody wants to do like $5 a month or something like that, we end up getting like $100 a month. Now they're taking $10, you know? So I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't know if we're gonna be able to offer enough for it,
right?
Or, you know, because we have to be fair to people who are going to be on Patreon,
right?
You know, so it's a weird trade-off. So if we do a Patreon, just letting you know, we will be actually serious about it. We're not just going to do it and just not post anything to it, because that's just not fair. Unless it's the $1 tier. If it's a $1 tier, then it's just like, we call it like alms for the poor, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give in order to receive.
Well,
you know?
Somewhat. I mean, what we'll probably do is have like different little videos or something like that, or just some other content that's only released on Patreon, and offer it like a day early, and, you know, stuff like that. That's like standard. But I was just thinking about tiers. Like, I don't think we should have like maybe like a $1, $5, $10 tier. We don't need anything more than that.
It's something reasonable.
Yeah. I mean, most people can afford like $1 a month to toss to it.
I would think so.
Especially if you like it. But we only know if you like it by clicking like and subscribing and leaving a comment. You like how I snuck that in?
I got 50 cents, man.
You need about $3.50. Get out of here, Loch Ness Monster. South Park callback.
I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 cents? We allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah. I don't think we've ever worried about that. So
I don't really be cussing.
We're not monetized.
Think I ever really cuss for real. Maybe I did a couple times.
Yeah, probably. I mean, we're not monetized. Our videos aren't monetized, right. So we don't have to worry about it. If we ever become monetized, the videos that we've released so far would not be. But YouTube did change their monetization rules lately. It used to be like if you cussed at all, if you dropped F-bombs, if you know, whatever, they would just demonetize it. Right. They'd flag it. Now, if you go so long before, as the video starts, if you wait to start cussing midway through the video, you're good.
Yeah.
But you have to have a reasonable, you can't just drop out, what was that song? Was it Limp Bizkit? Where he had like 53 fucks or something like that. How many he had. There was a whole bunch of them. The fuck song or whatever. If you start going off like that in every other word, and you have just a giant rant of just cussing, then they'll flag it.
Right.
So, yeah. But
shit, that's not even a song. You just saying fuck the whole time.
yeah, right. Exactly. It's ridiculous. I need to go listen to it again because it's hilarious.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it's like it's a fucked up world. It's a fucked up place. Everybody, something with a fucked up.
Is that the group that sings the one song? It's all about the nookie.
Yep.
I thought so.
Yeah, Fred Durst.
Fred Durst. Yeah, I know a couple songs.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot, but a couple.
That was classic early 2000s.
Then Eminem came along and started dissing all the soft rock groups.
Yep. Well, yeah, he threw out disses against Fred Durst.
R&B singers.
Mm-hmm. Anybody who could take shots at
anybody that he could take shots at and get away with it.
That's what he was known for. He got away with everything. There wasn't anybody he was like, I can't get away with it.
I think he chose strategically who he was calling out.
He took shots at Pam and Tommy at the time, Britney Spears, who was gigantic, Christina Aguilera, Mandy Moore, all of the biggest names out there. Mariah Carey.
Well, he actually dated Mariah Carey.
Yes, and then he went hardcore against at her in all of his songs.
Well, she never admitted, so
right.
I don't know. Or I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he just made it up.
That's why Nick Cannon got so mad.
Part of his I don't know.
That's why Nick Cannon got so mad at Eminem,
I don't know,
right?
I don't know why she would deny something like that though. Like,
because she was America's sweetheart, you know.
You like bad boys, just admit it. I mean, what's the problem?
Her fans wouldn't appreciate it. She was already on the way down.
Yeah, that is true.
So, but yeah, I got to go to Cedar Point. So that was fun.
How was that? Did it rain that day?
No, so it rained early in the morning, right?
Yeah.
And the whole park was expecting rain. It was the forecast the week up to that was supposed to be like rain all day, and I was like, I don't know what we're gonna be able to do.
Right.
So we got there, not a single drop of rain the entire time we were there. We got there at 10, and we left at like 7, and no rain.
Yeah,
no problem.
After a couple hours, man, I don't know. I get bored quick. I can't stay at the theme park all day. Like, that is so exhausting to me. But a lot of people,
it depends on what you're doing.
You know,
depends on what you're doing, right?
Well, I already told you I'm not getting on no more rides. So,
I mean, yeah, I mean that's part of the fun. Is fast passes cost $1,000.
Yeah,
$1,000 to skip a line.
So you be standing in line for hours.
Nope.
That's half the day. I'm saying without the pass.
Yeah, but standing in line isn't that big of a deal because you're not going on we're season pass holders now, so we don't have to go on like the busy times, right? We can go anytime we want.
Yeah.
So we can strategically pick when we go. We can go on a Wednesday, right? Take a Thursday off, go on a Wednesday.
What time does the park close?
It's like 8.
Yeah.
Something like that. But Hollow weekends are going to be sick. With all the like haunted house stuff, it's like a completely different park. But I mean, I'm okay with standing in line for 30 minutes to an hour because it's not like the wait times were up any past that when we were there. Right. So I can chill in line and bullshit with everybody and have a good time in line.
Yeah, I definitely have to be drunk if I go. I can't do it.
I mean,
so
they sell alcohol there too. So
I'm going to be drunk when I get there.
The funny thing is, we pulled up, I opened the hatch and was pulling out stuff. We were putting hoodies in and you know, taking stuff out and everything. And then Elena's bottle of Tito's is in there. And I was like, anybody want a shot real quick?
Tito's.
We're there with all the kids, like probably shouldn't.
Nasty. Ugh.
You know what's funny about Tito's? For any of you Tito's drinkers out there who think it's good vodka, it's okay. It's okay.
It sneaks up on you.
So
you gotta drink a whole bottle though.
if you look at the bottle, it says Tito's homemade vodka, right? Pretty sure Tito's doesn't make any of their vodka. Pretty sure they order it all, and larger companies, because when you get that big,
yeah,
you almost can't.
Right.
So you have to rely on other distributors.
Mm-hmm.
Then you take it, throw it in a still maybe, and you know whatever, and say it. But they got sued at one point. Right, for saying that
it's homemade.
That it's homemade.
Oh, yeah.
And they went, no, we're not saying it's homemade. The name of our company is Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's Handmade Vodka is the name of the company.
All right, well, that's different from homemade then.
No, I said homemade, but it's handmade.
But they got
Tito's
sued
handmade.
for saying that it was handmade?
Yeah. But they won the suit because they said,
That's just
we're
the
not
name.
saying it's handmade. That's the name of our company. Right?
Good strategy.
So, yeah.
What attorney they had? I gotta hire him.
I'm saying it's like
He sound like a new version of Johnny Cochran or somebody.
right. The name don't mean that's what it is. There was another thing like that happened where their name got them out of it, but because they said we never said that it was this. That's just the name of our company. They did the same thing way before. I can't remember, but that's like me making a brewery and saying Troy's super great tasting, beer, right? Naming my company that, and then putting out the worst tasting beer, but marketing it great, and people going like, this does not taste good, and it says it's supposed to be great tasting. Or if I said say the name of my company was like Troy's Safe Cigarettes.
Knowing that is not safe.
Can I get away with that if that's the name of my company?
Technically.
I mean,
we all know that cigarettes there's nothing safe about smoking a cigarette.
Correct. I doubt that I would get like the FDA to allow the cigarettes, but I'm saying that's just like an extreme example. Trying to be pedantic about it.
I think don't quote me on this. I might have been Marlboro cigarette company got sued for not putting the side effects, the safetiness of light cigarettes. You know how you got your regular menthols and you got your shorts and the light cigarettes. They're saying because it's a light version, they were saying that it wasn't as poisonous or you couldn't really get cancer. You know what I'm saying? They sugar coated it.
Yeah. Well, that was the point of calling them Marlboro Lights.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, they just got sued for that.
Yeah. That's why you would call it a Marlboro Light. That's why you call it a Bud Light, because it sounds like it's less bad for me.
I don't know how that's going to affect other tobacco companies, but
anybody who has a light would be affected by that. It would fall under.
I'm pretty sure that they either lost that suit or they're going to lose that suit.
I mean, it's like Mad Men, right? For anybody who's watched Mad Men, when they first talk about like the advertising for Lucky Strikes at the time, which were one of my favorite cigarettes when I smoked, filterless Lucky Strikes. They were like, it's toasted, right? They're not saying that it's safe anymore or anything like that. They just went, it's toasted, to make it sound way better, right? So while everybody else is talking about how their cigarettes are poisonous, ours are toasted, right? So it's all marketing BS. Marketing is what you're like, I figured I would get this for my money. Nope, I got that. And it's because of the marketing. You fell for marketing.
Exactly.
Sadly, we're all sheep. We just blindly go in circles like that video from episode 5. Shout out if that was actually episode 5. I just threw that number out of the number. Yeah. No clue. Somebody look it up and comment and let me know what episode that is. Give the algorithm something to work for.
So, did you hear about the guy in Canada that opened up the store selling heroin, cocaine, and crack?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He opened up a store in Canada selling all these different types of drugs. Now, I think that Canada, I don't know if it's certain parts of Canada.
Okay.
I think they did kind of pass some type of drug law.
But I think they were just talking about cocaine recently.
Yeah, I think it might have been.
I don't know if it passed or not.
You have you got to have a license.
Right.
Either
weed
way,
was legal, and they were working on trying to get coke legal.
Right. But either way, you got to have a license.
Yeah.
And this guy, whether they pass a law or not, this guy didn't have a license, and he opened up this store selling all these different types of drugs.
Yep.
A public open store, and he ended up getting arrested to shut the store down.
Weird. Okay. would have never expected that outcome.
So his defense is he was saying that his drugs was tested, they were weighed, and they were safer than the drugs on the streets, which might have been true.
Okay.
Probably was 90% true.
Yeah, it probably did. It was tested for fentanyl, made sure there was nothing in there. It was controlled, and he knew what was in it. So, hey, technically it is safer than whatever you might get with fentanyl in it, or, a horse tranquilizer, whatever it is. Go ahead. Sorry.
This is the thing, though. I guess he had a family member that overdosed from drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that he intentionally opened up this store to help people.
Yeah. This is, remember when we were going back and forth on if they should legalize like everything or not?
Yeah, I remember.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Because they would have a very controlled environment where all the drugs are tested, make sure that there's no fentanyl. They're dosed appropriately by a doctor, right? It's not just somebody going like, the last time I did it, I did this, but it's been 6 years, and then they OD on it, right? Doctor can ask all of those questions, find out, dose them in an effective and safe manner. There's no sharing needles. There's no worried about contaminated drugs. There's no worry about any of that.
Right. Yeah.
You know how many overdoses you save?
Yeah, I get that.
Here's the other thing. If you charge the right price, then there are no dealers anymore.
Yeah, then
because
all the drug dealers is gonna come looking for you.
What are they gonna do? They're gonna start a war with the United States government, an actual open war. Like, that's not smart.
It's already a drug war going on between the United States and Mexico.
War? No, there's not. I mean,
the cartel.
Yeah, that's
they never
CIA
stop.
backed. I mean, we all know that the people in the federal government are in bed with the cartel, and that's why, because they're making money off it. I mean, come on. It's not
it
a
is what
stretch.
it is.
It's not even a conspiracy theory anymore. We know.
Hey, it is what it is.
So
don't quote
I mean,
but
and it doesn't matter anyways, because they deal in volume. They can lose millions and billions of dollars worth of product and still get $30 billion worth of product across in another way. That's what they're doing with migrants and this whole like protect the border. They're sending people through coyotes to go and attack the border. Right. Not attack the border. To go across the border, right? Because, hey, while all of your law enforcement is tied up over here, I just sent 30 semi trucks full of coke over here.
Yeah, and it's gonna continue they're gonna continue to do it.
You're not gonna win. They're smarter. They have the ability to drop these shipments. You don't.
If you can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm a cartel, right, and I'm sending 30 shipments across, right, and they're all $1 billion each, we'll say, right? Okay, we'll say they're $10 million of product each, right? If you stop 8 of them, I still win.
Yeah.
You have to stop every single one of them in order to try to say you won.
Right.
But no, they stop one. The government stops one and goes, look at what we kept off the streets. What I want to see is the cartel.
One cargo.
I want to see the cartel reach out to the news station after that and be like, hey, while they were doing that, 8 more semis drove past them. They were all filled. I want to see that happen. And then make everybody look bad. And then they're like, maybe we should stop this whole like war on drugs. You know how to beat the cartels? Undercut them. I mean, that's it. We're capitalists. Let's put capitalism to the test. You know?
Yeah, we start moving towards being dictator.
Hey, yeah.
All these new laws and policies, and they just talking about passing.
Like what? I want to hear this.
Well, you got a couple state representatives talking about passing new laws where you got to have an ID now in order to vote. You ain't gonna be allowed to vote without an ID. That don't even make sense.
I mean, I get it. There was the same hubbub in Georgia, right? Because more disenfranchised people are not going to have an ID. Now, if you follow that up and you say, we will absolutely give everybody IDs for free.
You know what? They did say that too. That you won't get charged to renew your ID.
I don't care if it's renew, if it's the first time getting it, if it's renewal. If you get an ID, if you're getting a state identification card, right, and they're requiring it for voting, then it should be 100% free. Then you don't have to worry about the whole like the poor can't vote because they can't afford IDs. Right? You're disenfranchising all of us. Well, this group of poor people might vote more this way or this way, and then you get into the whole thing. That's what happened in Georgia, right? So they ran the numbers, and they're like, more black voters who are going to vote Democrat are the ones who aren't going to get IDs.
Pretty much.
Voter registration purging should also be illegal. You shouldn't be able to just go, wipe the database. All right, everybody make sure that you're still registered to vote. I've been purged from a list once. I had to go back in and re-register to vote. Shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, hey.
You turn 18, you should automatically be registered. Then every year they should reach out to you and go, hey, do you need to change your registration?
They're going to make it more complicated every year.
Yeah. And that's the way the game's played, right? They move the lines. They gerrymander the lines, and they say this group will affect all of this group because they're more populous. Let's draw a line around them, and they'll be in part of this group that was already going to win that, so that this one is flipped to the other color. One of the problems is the people drawing the lines are the people who are trying to rig it in their favor. So it needs to be independent, right? They need to have some type of voting based on the new lines so that people are like, hey, chop it up fair. That doesn't work for us. Let's figure this out a little bit better and then compromise and make it work.
Yeah, I mean, they can't prove whose vote count and who vote can't count. I mean, they really can't give us no proof, and they don't give us no proof. Like, look, your vote counted.
I mean, technically,
that's just
everybody's vote counts.
That's just like we paying taxes. We can't. They can't prove where your taxes is going. They say, yeah, your taxes is going towards the city, it's going towards schools, it's going towards parks, but roads. they can't show no proof. There ain't no public proof where all that money's going, and they're not going to show it to you. They can say that, and then you got most. I ain't gonna say all Republicans. I mean, some Democrats too, but you got mostly liberal type people that's saying, oh, well, my tax dollars are being wasted because of this person, and that person's getting these benefits and these government benefits, and that person is in jail, and they're spending my tax dollar. You don't know where your tax dollar is going to. So you really don't.
The people that are saying that are normally like conservative Republicans and stuff. Welcome to Lack Thereof Politics Edition, by the way.
Oh, it's always politics for me, baby.
So, I mean, the people who are like, oh, those people in jail, they, this and that, and, my tax money is going to support this family.
You don't know where your taxes is going. Like, you don't.
Technically, I'm sure you could publicly find everybody who paid taxes, right? Put them all into a database, then pull all of government spending for that area, right? In like your local, like state, city, whatever, and then look at where they spent money, right? And I'm sure you can go, okay, so 1/100th, or say you're in a population 20,000, 1 in 20,000 cut, that's what I'm paying, right? Technically, you could probably do that. There's no reason to follow every dollar because it's a waste of resources. Because then everybody would be complaining about there's a whole building that exists to follow every dollar, and why are we wasting money on them? They go through $10 million a year in staffing and technology.
Not to mention that you get a percentage of your taxes back at the end of the year.
No,
so it's not like you're just all your taxes is just gone.
That's not how that works.
You do get a percentage of your taxes, income taxes at the end of the year.
That's not how it works.
If you work, you get a percentage of your taxes back.
You don't get it back. No. That's a misconception, and I'm glad you brought that up.
So where are you getting?
What happens is,
what are you getting back?
You make so much money, right?
But they take taxes out.
Right. Percentage of that money is supposed to go to taxes, right?
Right.
Sometimes employers take too much or not enough because taxes are complicated.
Yeah.
You can only mark it down to claim 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So if you claim the wrong thing and they take out more taxes each paycheck, then you're going to get more money back because you overpaid taxes. You don't get it back. You just overpaid. So they refund you the amount that you overpaid.
All right. So
right?
what
if
you don't overpay?
Pay enough?
What if you don't overpay?
If you don't overpay and you pay exactly,
you don't get nothing.
Nothing. Nothing at all. Unless you can go, hey, I spent an itemized list. I spent this money on this money on this. This is, this is tax deductible. This is tax deductible. I did this charity, blah, 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 blah,
That's
blah.
where your tax write-offs comes in.
Tax write-offs. Take the amount of tax that you owe, and they reduce that amount.
Mm-hmm.
So if you paid your exact amount, but you had $200 in tax reductions, right? Then you get $200 as a refund from the government because they went, you paid us $200 more. Now, if you didn't take enough, and they say, pay us more.
Then you go owe the IRS
right
at the end of the year.
I technically, for the first time in my entire life, I had to pay the IRS this year. Well, for last year.
Right. Why though?
I mean, I know why. It's because I started another business, and I didn't set aside that money for taxes. I knew it was already going to be taxed.
Right.
And my W-2 employment tax return my tax refund from there wasn't the same amount or more.
Isn't there a grace period? Like if you make less than $10,000, you don't have to file taxes for 2 years, 3 years.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know specific tax law like that, but
yeah, I don't know if they changed it, but yeah, it used to be like that.
Well, because
they gave you up to 3 years to
because
file
it's
back
an
taxes.
LLC, then I'm on a payment, and because it ties in with my personal taxes. Right. So that's the way that works. It all ties in together. It's as if I'm paying tax. I'm getting that myself. Like it's a separate company. It's a separate entity, but it's me. Right. So it's protected in the event of other things, but it's me. So that's the way it's taxed. So I was able to actually deduct quite a bit for business expenses and things like that. So it wasn't as much as it was going to be. So it was nice. So, but that was fun doing my taxes this year.
You do your own taxes. Or
I use TurboTax.
Oh, hold on. I forgot. Don't you do accounting on the side?
No, not accounting. I'm terrible at accounting.
What is?
I do IT work.
Okay.
So networking, run cables, hook people's computers up, all of that stuff. Computer work. So nothing.
But you file your own taxes though.
I use TurboTax. They file my taxes technically.
Okay.
I fill out the forms.
TurboTax. See, look, I'm full of information, man. I'm like a computer. TurboTax got sued for overcharging people for filing their taxes online because it's technically supposed to be free.
Federal, you can do free. They will charge you for your state taxes because that doesn't have to be free. You can do a federal free edition, but you get the basics. You pay them to get the good stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. You might be getting a check in the mail because they got sued for over charging somebody.
I'm not part of any class action against them or anything like that. The last class action lawsuit I was a part of, I got $2 back. So it was like a $400 million class action lawsuit, but so many people signed up for it. Or no, maybe it was like a $4 million class action lawsuit. But because so many people were like, give me my money, everybody got like nothing. So that was fun.
That's usually how it happens.
Yeah, you just hope nobody pay attention to
you
this.
Do all
nobody
this
sign up.
You be doing all this bragging all year that you're in this class action lawsuit.
I'm in a multi-million-dollar class action lawsuit.
Yeah, and then when you get paid, you get like a $5 check in the mail.
It's like, oh, got my lawsuit money. They're like, oh, you're quitting today? No, it was $5.
I got a couple of them. I'm not gonna.
I got a coffee once.
I ain't gonna mention no names, but I got a couple of them $5 checks.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say who it was.
No, one of my favorite things to do is when a bank goes, hey, sign up for our stuff and we'll give you $500 if you hold X amount of money in there for like a month.
Oh yeah, I should do that all the time.
And do direct deposit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And then you move money into there, take some direct deposits, transfer it out.
Yep.
And then it's like, if you signed somebody else up, that's more free money.
Yep.
And then I just leave $5 in that account forever.
Yeah.
And then I have like 10 bank accounts that I've forgotten that are all like they have like $2.50.
I closed
or
all
something.
mine. They try to penalize me for closing them. I'm like, nah, that ain't what we agreed to.
Yeah, I met your month, your 3 months requirement.
But yeah, I used to do that every 3 months. I used to open up a new bank account, get the bonus money.
Yep.
Refer a friend, get a extra $200. I pay my rent doing that actually.
U.S. Bank was really good at that because then you get like 4 people to do it, and it's like, hey, I brought you in on this. You're giving me half, and then you run your own little pyramid scheme essentially, trying to get banks to give you free money. But anything else you want to mention? Because we're starting to run a little long on time.
Oh, hey, we're our own bosses. We can run as long as we want to.
No, because there's only so much I'm going to edit. I mean, no, you can go as long as you want. I don't care.
We can end it, or we can go. It don't matter. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, let's go ahead and call it. All right.
Peace out.
Take it easy. If you like the video, like it. It's right down there. Subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you comment. Let us know what you thought of it, or hey, what you had for lunch. I don't care. Just write something in there because
give us some feedback.
Yeah, even if it's not feedback, just type a letter in there because then YouTube looks at us a little bit better. You know, they like us a little bit more. The algorithm does. You know, subscribe, share it, whatever. You know, watch the next one. If you look down over here, there's a subscribe over here. You know, that'll be another video. Click it.